Hi, I'm Liz Ramos, and I've been part of this church for 28 years. It's been important to me as a place to raise my children and then to create a larger community for our family. The money from this campaign is going to help us address a couple of things that the church leadership has identified as the biggest needs right now. One is our beautiful organ. It's a wonderful instrument, but apparently they need a rebuild every 70 years or so, and we've kind of never done that, so it's time.
We're here in the main organ chamber. There's another chamber on the other side of the chancel. This contains wind chests, which help control the flow of air from the pump to the pipes. The organ was given by the Hayward family in the mid-1920s. 20 years before that, when the church was built, they also donated the chancel window.
And a funny story, Easter Sunday a couple of years ago, we had what we call an organ cipher, which is basically where one of the pipes had air blowing out of it in a place it shouldn't have had to blow. And I ended up climbing up into the organ chamber 15 minutes before church on Easter Sunday with duct tape to cover that hole so that we didn't have a rushing sound of a stray pipe throughout church on Easter Sunday. We're sort of heading into a phase of the organ's life where if we don't start taking care of it and do a major overhaul at this time, then we'll have more of those instances like I described on Easter Sunday. So what we're doing is really guarding against those kinds of things happening.
And then the kitchen is kind of the heart of the community. For many of us, it's the heart of our homes. And our kitchen has, it's deteriorated as they do. There are new materials, new appliances. It really needs to be modernized, so it's really useful for the groups that use it now.
We're here in the basement kitchen of the Newton Highlands Congregational Church. Behind me you can see the very large collection of dinnerware, which when this church was built had a congregation of several hundred people. And we no longer use these dishes. I mention that because then that means we could have storage space that's not currently available to us. And when we look in the pots and pans department, we see a similar situation. I want to point out that these are our current coffee machines, and they're adequate for our needs. But over there on the other side of the room, we have coffee machines that haven't been turned on since the 70s. I imagine they could be sold for scrap metal. But they're just taking up resting space here in the kitchen, so we could probably get rid of them. The stove actually looks like the kind of stove that was probably in the kitchen of my house when my house was built. This was converted from a wood stove, and you fed the wood through that hole here. You have to have a special tool to lift this up. This is now it's a pilot-like stove. So it means there's open flame in the kitchen. It would be better to have a cleaner, more modern stove. I don't think we can really clean this unit particularly easily. Our kitchen is not up to code, as it were. It's not necessary that we have a professional kitchen. But we do need to make sure we have the proper number of sinks and stuff. We can no longer invite the general public to come in and share a meal with us because we're not allowed to by law, because our kitchen is what I guess you would say for personal use, meaning us as a congregation. That seems to me closes us off from the greater community.
Today, we are recognizing an event that really doesn't take place until Tuesday.
I'm Ken Bailey, and for 15 years now, along with my family, I've been blessed to be here at this parish. And if this campaign goes the way it might, about halfway through it, we will celebrate the second longest partnership in ministry in our history. I love this church. In fact, my son was born here. Both my children were baptized here. And it is a wonderful place for all of our families. If you have come to worship here at least a couple times, and if you've gotten here on time, You've heard me walk down the aisle at the beginning and say almost exactly the same thing. I say it the same way almost every week, such that a bunch of the children say it along with me. I say welcome and welcome back. Ours is not necessarily a world where everyone is welcome everywhere just now, but ours is a God who welcomes all of us always. So that's what we're celebrating, and that's why we're reaching out to others to serve. After we fix up our kitchen, and with whatever we take to care for our own needs to celebrate and serve, we're going to do that thing that's invited in the scriptures and that's even mentioned with a specific number, which is tithe. We're going to send 10% beyond our walls. This time we voted not to restrict the way we spend the money, but to reach out to those who are in need at this time in history.
I'm Amy Koba. I'm on the mission committee. 10% of the capital campaign is going to go to mission, and the mission committee will be looking for the appropriate way to use those extra funds to help people. We're exploring different options. Certainly some of the homeless shelters could use some of the capital, so we're going to be looking for the appropriate place based on need and within the committee.
It's All Saints Day as I sit down to record this, so I don't know exactly what'll be in the video that's right behind me and ahead of me, but I know that it's people who are involved in the church and invested in the church. So I thank them for everything that they're doing. By the time you see this, we'll be sharing more and more information, and I hope you learn everything you want to, so that as we head towards January 7th together, I can do what I invited a few minutes ago, which is ask you to join me as we support this project together. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this church, and thank God for what we have together.